Hey everybody. Let me know if you can tell any difference. I lowered my tripod like a whole section. I was like, why do I have it up so high when I don't need it to be, I don't think. Plus this way I feel there's less danger of it tipping over into my paint. So I'm a little frazzled in my area right now. It's a mess. Last night I tried to make I'll show you one of them. Ornaments. But I was going to use the ornaments. I have this cool candle holder and I was going to put these in there instead of candles. So this one I poured and it turned out, and I sprayed it, but now there's like this weird texture thing going on. The others and I spray painted it with just some white before to try and give it tooth. The others that I did, the paint kept dripping right off it. So then I poured paint inside it instead. And those, when I looked this morning, almost all of that had dripped out. So now I bought some gesso and I gessoed it. And I have never, I haven't bought gesso in probably, gosh, 8 years, 7 years. So I bought the Artist Loft and I opened it up and I guess I don't know enough. It was, well, for one thing, the top was dusty, which should have been my first clue. There was so much dried stuff around it, and then I mixed in all the liquid. But I think they must not go through a lot of that because you could tell it's been sitting there for quite a while. But so I did that on those, and we'll see how that goes. I thought I just had a cup with me, but I don't. Let me find. Oh no. I'm out. I only have 2 of these bathroom cups left. I love these things. Actually, since this is a small canvas, this is a 12 by 12. No, I am good. I was going to say I might just fill up this lid, but I'm going to use this. So I bought, it's Festive Green Metallic. So this is 2 ounces. These cups are 5.5. So I mixed this with Floetrol and water. So full 2 ounces. And it is almost to the top. So let's say 5 ounces. So I suppose it's 2 ounces of the paint and then almost 3 ounces of Floetrol and water. So that kind of gives you an idea, more of an idea as to how I mix it. It is thin. I mean that I keep it really thin. So like this one, yeah, they're all about that thin. I usually hate green, but I don't know, that one kind of called out to me. So I'm using the metallic green, I can't get the lid off, espresso, pewter, and then this is it's ultramarine blue mixed with white, I believe. So these are just Floetrol and water. Spot on treadmill silicone, a drop in each color. As for this, I don't know how much would actually be left in it because I mean it used to be full and that's just the dregs of it now. Latex paint and satin. I used to tout Dutch Boy, say Dutch Boy, awesome, da 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 da. But now I've sampled 2 other, well actually both of them were Benjamin Moore, but they were 2 different brands of Benjamin Moore. One was Scuff X and the other was Ben. And they have all poured the same as the Dutch Boy. So if you can't find Dutch Boy, don't You know, don't sweat your pretty little head, because I'm pretty sure now that any latex will work. And I have now used eggshell and satin and noticed no differences. So, you know, it's good that I experimented, because now a lot of people can't get the Dutch Boy. Like where I am, you can only find it at Menards. So now I'm just going to tell y'all, just go get whatever paint fits your budget. And 12 by 12, so I'm not going to use much color in my flip and drag. So yeah, so like the Ben that I like, well, and the Dutch Boy to me smells milder. It doesn't smell as strong as some of the others. For this gallon, I paid $23 and change. But Menards usually has either 10 or 11% rebate, or like right now there's an $8 rebate. Versus that Ben paint is $36 a gallon. And so I'm definitely not gonna up my paint by $10. So basically whatever paint is available and in your price range, go for it. I really have no idea how these colors are going to look together. I really can't even visualize it. So far, looking into the flip cup reminds me of camping for some reason. I don't know. I think it's like the green, the field, the water, dirt, mountains. Reminds me of camping. Oh, and somebody else commented, because sometimes I flip this and then pour the white, and other times I pour the white and then flip this on top. And those both seem to yield similar results. When I flip this first, it gets suctioned down, which sometimes when I put the pin in it can make it float, which is interesting. So, just another FYI. I'm gonna start kind of more in the middle. And there's something, I'll start off by saying, this is a washing machine pan. Everybody asks that. And I pour out of here, it is mixed in here. So that this is not just paint that I am pouring on here. It's Floetrol and water and paint. Alright. So I'm just tilting off the extra. Scoop up some of it that has, and I mix my white and the colors the same way. This white I think is a bit thin. I just mixed it up. Sometimes when I just mix it, that first pour isn't the best. Because what I'll do for my second pour is I will add a little bit of paint back in there to thicken it up. But it's not too bad. It's not leaving bald spots. And this is actually the painting that I did in my live video. I didn't like how it was drying, so I scraped it off while it was still fairly wet. So this canvas is a redo. 2 holes. Woohoo! And just let some seep out. Oh, I'm dragging really hard. You can hear it. Wow, isn't that green pretty? Right there. Torch it a bit. I've taken to doing that before so that I get no unexpected colors afterwards. And that way I can tilt off parts that sometimes when you torch, yucky stuff happens. So if I do it before, then I could tilt off. I am actually going to move this a bit and see if I can scrape up some of this to fill in these areas. Because actually this should be enough that's on the paper. I shouldn't have to pour any from the can anymore. Oh, and you probably can't see that because I think I just did that off camera. So if I did, which I'll find out when I watch it, I was just scraping up paint with the cup and filling in the bald spots. So I was doing that instead of pouring new paint from the can because there was plenty on the pan. So this is really pretty. But now I'm going to tilt it to try and combine it a little because it looks like I got more than one pour going here. Sometimes with the flip and drag, since you're dragging it, it gets kind of stuck. So you may have to tilt it a little with your finger, touch it. Now I did a lot of paint for 12 by 12. There's a lot of paint on this canvas. But with this treadmill silicone, I can slowly stretch it and get really interesting cells. I don't want to tilt it too much, but as you can see, there's a lot of white here that needs to come down. But see, that's too much now. I want something to happen with this. So I'm going to loosen up the edges. Just by putting my thumb in there, now you can see that it's moving just by mushing it around. Got it going. Ooh, there's a bird flying. Because this looks kind of weird just right there. I feel like there should be more of a connect. It doesn't really want to move that way, so I'm going to see about the other direction. These colors are definitely not my style, but that green is really pretty. Okay, once I get this over, it's going to tilt it back towards me. Get those cells back in place. Okay. 1 still debating if I should just knock this off of here. Let's see what happens. Now I am going to have to see all those crazy cells though that were happening. This ought to be interesting. Look at this. Okay, now I kind of like how this is turning out, even though that was supposed to be what I was supposed to knock off. But it looks really cool. So I think I may end up doing it up here. I know some of you are like, no, why'd you do that? But I think it's more interesting now and more unified. So I want to get some of that knocked off, and then I'm going to bring it back around. This I find beautiful. I mean, it looks like a bird in flight. I'm really liking it. It's funny how accidents can end up being prettier than what you thought you were going for. Because now look at this. Now I have all those outline cells, which are my favorite. And I don't have the big heavy things of color. I just have like that blue and right here. And this green is amazing. So it's more airy than it was. And I think there's better flow and unity to it. So, and the metallic is amazing. I should probably resin this, because resin over metallic is insanely beautiful. And you guys know how much I love to resin. Not. But resin on metallics is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I gotta show you my pan. My pan is almost prettier than the painting. Look at this right here. That's so pretty. Wish I had something to dip in it, but I don't. Oh, and with you being lower, I can zoom closer. Just kind of nice. This area, oh, well maybe it'll show up better on a bigger screen. The metallic is gorgeous. And these are those outline cells that I love so much. And that blue spot is almost like the anchor, because if you then it comes out, I'll show you. That blue spot, then it comes out in both directions. So that blue is almost works as an anchor focal point for the painting. Look at that edge. Whoops. That is one awesome edge. And all of this is all the quote mistake. That's what happened when I added the white on top of it. And I'm telling you, it's that treadmill silicone. That stuff is crazy. Alright, so thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.